Okay, this is nothing for anybody. This is just for me. I have my new moon intentions in Cancer from May 5th. And for some reason, I thought about it last night. Like, new moon in Cancer. This is dark moon. So dark moon in Cancer. People don't know what you know because you're not talking about what you know. Just one time. 2 times. 3 times. So I've been feeling so weird. I've been feeling, it's so crazy. I feel so rich and so broke at the same time. And I wonder if this is how celebrities feel. Like rich people, like they're like, wow, I have everything, but some things I don't have. And I'm like, damn, them shits is really loud. It's really loud. So, Ace of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. I really want that to be that there's that in the desire to start something new, you just have to build it up with your own hands. Now, lately I've been feeling like I've been resting a lot, and it was my birthday, so it was a long time. Like, it feels longer because like I feel like I haven't been at the studio because I've been first, like the week before it was the meditation in the park. My best friend got married, so I didn't go to the studio that day. June was really busy, and they said June was going to be busy too. So June was really busy, so I really wasn't at the studio that much, and I feel like I wasn't at the studio that much, and I don't like that feeling because it's like, if I have my store, right? When I have my store, when things like that happen where someone gets married, it's a birthday party, this and that, I'm going to go to those things. But the thing is that I want to have people, I want the store to be open still. And I caught one of my favorite business mentors in my mind. I caught one of her lives, and she was talking about employees. She was saying, you can hire, you have to expand before you make the money. And I always heard that you had to have the money to expand. Like, I always understood that you had to have the money to expand, so I always felt like I couldn't expand, but I did expand. I expanded from my house to a studio, so I did expand. And she said you can hire employees. You don't have to pay them up until max 21 days. But she said 14 to 21 days. You don't have to pay them for 14 to 21 days. And I never knew that either. I'm like, why is this not information that we don't know? And I'm like, I need all this business information because I feel like the reason why I always get stumped is because I don't know where to go next. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I feel like I'm watching the macro world, and I'm looking at everything happen in the world, and I'm like, everything is tired. Like, even Instagram is tired. It's old. I'm like, we need to create physical body experiences, because what's going to happen now, and I saw this really quickly on Instagram, and just because it came up, it's bound to, is that they use the word embed. And it's crazy that word came up because Caitlin was saying it last night. She was talking about embedded conditions, like just it's embedded in you. And she kept saying it, and I said, look up this word, because I know what it means, and I know it in terms of technology, and I know it in terms of life, but I'm like, look it up again, because I haven't heard this word in a while, but I never got a chance to look it up. Now, I must look it up right now, but now, embed, it's just embed. Embedded is, let me say embedded definition. To embed. Fixed firmly and deeply in a surrounding mass, implanted. Embedded conditions. So they said they're going to embed the technology, that's the phone, that's not of me, they're going to embed it into the human body. And I said, how disrespectful, of course, y'all know my stance. But I also said, well, what the fuck? Embed again? Like the post said embedded like a couple times. I said embedded again. Cool. I don't know why I brought that up, but it was embedded in me. or I just have these understandings that I want to release. The world is tired, and I'm like, there's something more. I feel it. And I'm like, now I'm in a space right now where I'm leaving the studio because it wasn't fleshed out. It isn't fleshing out the way that I needed to. And I gave it time, but I needed it to happen fast. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I needed it to happen fast, but I felt like, and I still feel like, it can happen fast. It's just a matter of what's in place to accelerate it. You know what I mean? Because I firmly believe in quantum leaping, not abundance, manifestation, and just everyday life and reality. Like literally, you could say something and it's manifested in the next moment. Like that's quantum right there. Like we can literally break time. I don't even know why I keep saying quantum because I feel like I'm using it in the wrong context. But I mean in the sense that let me look it up because I'm trying to say it's happening rapidly and it's happening beyond dimensions. Or no wait. Physics, a discrete quantity of energy proportional in magnitude to the frequency of the radiation it presents. A discrete quantity of energy proportional in magnitude to the frequency and its radiation it presents. Okay, a required or allowed amount, especially an amount of money legally payable in damages. The court must determine the quantum of compensation due. Like how much? Okay. Physics, a discrete quantity of energy proportional in magnitude to the frequency of the radiation it presents. So, quantum is like a small piece of a mysterious piece of, because it says discrete. Why it says discrete? That means that it's unwritten, kind of. You know, like discrete, a required or allowed amount, and it talks about legalities and stuff. Like to me, quantum means that we can transcend time, and I feel like because it talks about a discrete amount of energy proportional to the magnitude of frequency, that means that this thing over here is vibrating, and it's in a frequency portal, and how big it gets, how big this thing gets, is how big this thing is. A discrete quantity of energy, proportional, so that means that it's comparable up against, right? In magnitude, in bigness. Like this shit is wild. I'm probably using it in the wrong context, but I don't care. Like that word is tripping me. Hold on. I'm looking at quantum mechanics. I use these words a lot. But it's beyond. It's just beyond. Quantum mysticism, sometimes referred pejoratively as quantum quackery or quantum woo. It's a set of metaphysical beliefs and associated practice that seek to relate consciousness, intelligence, spirituality, or mystical worldviews to the ideas of quantum mechanics and its interpretations. Exactly. Exactly, and that's it. So anyway, I just sidebarred the whole shit. What I'm trying to say right now is that I just been feeling off. Here you go. I've been feeling off. I've been feeling like I put so much energy and effort, and my energy and effort is energetic. that's the thing that I've realized and that I love about myself, is that it's energetic. Like the fact that I get to show up in the world in my best self and meet people exactly where they are and allow compassion and patience and honesty. Because, you know, when you think about that, you think, oh, sometimes I get angry and sometimes I, you know, act out my own triggers and my own defense mechanisms, and it's true, but there's something behind that. You're going to do it anyway, because that's the balance. There are times where you are glorious and there are times where you can be the devil to someone. You're going to do both. But the point is that the step beyond is that you're aware of what you're doing every time you're doing it. It's a self-awareness. And every time this happens where I see myself beyond myself, I'm perceiving way too fucking much, way too fucking fast. That's a ascension symptom for me. And I know that, but I just want to get out of it already. That's how I feel. Because I'm like, you know it's going to pass. Yes, it's going to pass, but I want to get the fuck up out of it already. Because I feel like I'm wasting time. And I don't like that feeling. But this is the thing, too. I feel like I'm wasting time. If time is money, you feel like you're wasting money? No. I know I'm not wasting money. So I use every dollar that I have for everything that I need, everything that I want. Literally. That's what you're supposed to do. So this is the space I'm in of correcting those things. Oh, I feel like I'm wasting time. You know what I mean? When you get pulled back into your mind, and you should be so separate from yourself, your mind, your body, everything, spirit. You should just be that you can look at yourself and say, "Oh, I fucked up right there. Let me go back and." Because you should be able to look at yourself and say, "Why the fuck would I say something like that or think something like that?" You know. I caught myself. You always have to catch yourself. And there is noble humility, because in general, humility is a very low vibrational feeling. And I'm so glad my friend B put it up the other day. He put up the definition of humility. That's why I like looking up words, because you don't know what these words fucking mean until you really look it up. A lot of times we say things and we don't know what it means. We think we know what it means because the collective has, but we put a human face behind the collective, which I don't understand. We put a human face behind the collective. There's no human face. It's energy. And because we put it behind a human face, we kind of feel guilty for speaking up against it, doing against it. We kind of just follow it because we're just like, oh, my peer. It looks like my peer. For some reason, we have this obsession with ourselves. It's so crazy. This is Earth, though. We really need to learn how to live here. We're following a man's mind, a collective mind of technology advancement. Where, let's be real, they build these buildings, right? I went to the Edge the other day, and they talked about energy, how they use the water, or how they, I feel like this is like the second place I've been to where they talked about how the building was built with water and nature in mind. And it's like they're trying to digitize God. They try to digitize nature. Like, how are we going to do that? And how are we going to be able to live in the digital world and live in the physical world and treat both of them with equal respect? We have to transcend this duality, because this is the foundation of being able to even get to the point of being able to live digital and live physical. If we're gonna have to live digital like this, I'm here talking to you, I can put this, upload this, and this is what happens, and it reaches how many people it reaches, and energy gets spread. If this is the digital, and we need to learn how to live on Earth, we need to learn how to live here. We need to treat this Earth way better than how we're treating it. There's not a collective sigh and peace to the care of Earth. I'm sorry if you saw. It's just unsettled, and we don't know how to live here because we spend too much time, too much energy in the digital world, and we need to live in the physical world just as intensely. We don't do that. We can't grow food. We can't work. I'm not gonna say grow food. We can't work the land. We don't connect to the land. The only people of this earth who honor and respect the land in their very world-renowned and known religion and spirituality, so to be, in their spirituality, we try to kill them off. Come on. We try to kill them. We minimize their voice no matter what country they're on, no matter what continent they're on. We can look at every single continent and see how we've disregarded and disrespected the natives, the caregivers, the nurturers, the warriors, the fighters of the land. We destroyed. We need to learn how to live here again. We do. So we need to fall heavily into the physical route. And now that we're talking about embedding shit into our fucking physical bodies, this is prime time. I don't want to keep talking about this because I feel like it's being talked about enough. This is why I don't want to talk about it, because I feel like it's being talked about enough. Have you ever heard that before? I never even heard that before for myself. Oh shit, hold on. It's being talked about enough. That's why I don't feel like I need to talk about it. But the attacks on the divine feminine is outrageous. It's big, it's loud, it's massive, it's very loud. Very loud. I don't understand why we don't see this. And I know we don't see this because there's no rage. We don't feel violated enough. We don't feel angry enough for our planet. And we don't care about the mothers and the women who are our natural first place representation of life giver. Like literally, you know me, like I'll say whatever I want to say and you take it how you take it. Like I'm for everything, but the natural energy of natural law is man and woman. These are just the words we came up with. Think about the energy. I'm not talking about the man and woman. I'm talking about the energy, like feminine, masculine, whatever you want to call it. But they are in partnership. They are in connectedness. The story is so small, like it gets so intricate all the way down to they was writing online. They've been talking a lot about Lilith lately. Lilith, my girl Lilith. Her story is allegedly that she was Adam's first wife, first woman, first partner, I'm going to say. I'm very careful with the words I use right now because I really want to change this narrative. She was Adam's, or at least, let's think about something else. She was Adam's first woman counterpart. But because she came from the same mud that he came from, she had the same knowing and same power that the masculine energy has. And I feel like the story of, I'm gonna finish the story first and then I'll say whatever if I remember. But the story that so she's the first woman counterpart to Adam. So she had her own knowing, like the like masculine energy does. She had her power within. They both had it. Like they both had both masculine and feminine equal. That's it. It turns when they say Adam didn't like that, or she disobeyed God, or whatever the case was. The man in the picture, the man synergy portal, is the one, or the most masculine synergy portal, is the one who didn't like that she was standing in her power, and banished her from the Garden of Eden. Whether she questioned God, whether she disobeyed Adam, whether she was nuck if you buck with him, I don't know. But she violated code. This is so funny because first it starts out where she's most powerful. She's most powerful in herself. So is Adam. Who gets upset that she is most powerful? Like, at what point does the fucking story break? This is when it gets, and I'm saying this in terms of, you can think about this in terms of years, like in time, because allegedly all this happened billions of years ago at the dawn of time. So if you want to think about it time-wise, sure. That is the beginning. And then you get into Adam and Eve, and now she's created from his rib, so she comes from him. She's a creation of Adam, but that's her equal counterpart. So now another story where the divine feminine is attacked and distorted. You know what I mean? And it's like, we don't have to follow those stories. Like there's story realities, portals, where Lilith and Adam live happily ever after in peace and harmony. And they transcend because they made love. Why is the story complete destruction every time? Even when Adam and Eve finally get to a point where they're in oneness in the Garden of Eden, and now they have to be struck out because Eve, here we go again, divine feminine is attacked because she's the one to blame. Eve ate the apple off the tree that God said not to eat the apple off of. And now they are all knowing, and now they are, and now they are two knowing, I should say, not all knowing, two knowing. For whatever reason. So here we go, another jump in the story where the divine feminine is being attacked. And listen, I'm not saying divine feminine is for women presenting people. What I'm saying is, big ant. What I'm saying is that the soul of that energy, the essence of that energy, has been under attack for a very long time. As you can see, per history, we want to start with Lilith in them, and then if you want to keep going, we can keep going. We can literally keep going on how the divine feminine has been under attack since the dawn of time. We keep going up until June 2022 in macro news with the illegalization of abortions. Who's thinking about abortions? Nobody even fucking talks about them. We get them done and the day goes on. Who talks about them? Who's obsessed? There's an obsession happening. There's a dismantling happening, coming from them to us as a collective. And we are the masses. We have been called the masses. We are literally we outnumber. We outnumber currency in terms of money. We outnumber the people who hold the currency and money and positions to maintain and sustain those things. Like, we outnumber that. It's easy to herd a bunch of sheep. Of course we outnumber it. But we have no higher thought process, no higher self-awareness, no God-conscious activation, nothing. Because if we did, we would be more angry about how this planet is being treated and how we're treating this planet. With how we love and how we express, emote, and how we act. So anyway, 25 minutes, not bad. I'm not even recording this for anybody, but if it ends up somewhere, because I kind of like it, because I haven't said anything in a while, and I'm like, share, just fucking share. But I'm not even gonna lie, I don't want to share my life. And that's another thing that keeps me, that has stumped me in my business, is that I'm gonna have to turn my business outward and remove my face from it. And I said this probably a year ago. A long time I've been saying this. So I started to like pull away. Like I posted YouTube videos all the time. I wasn't saying that I posted them on my Instagram. I'm like, just like the way I want to run my business is spiritual, more spiritual and more emotional. Like I don't want to be those people who, they tell you this, like if you follow business growing accounts online, they're right. You need to post all the time. You need to have a lot of things in place in order for your video, your photos, and your words to hit and to be, you know, highly resonated with, and they tell you what type of things you could talk about, what things are successful, because we all can tell that certain things are more successful than other things. You know, they have set everything up. And now I'm like, well, I don't want to run it like that because it's exhausting. Because honestly, and I've said this before, and I see all the spiritual practitioners say this, I'm very glad. So it's been said that if you're a real spiritual practitioner, like you really do spiritual work, like there's people who, you know, you tap into your spirituality and it is your life now. You live your life based on it, but you do other things for vocation and hobby. Like it's just, you know. And then there's people who practice their spirituality as real practice. Like I love this shit. Like it's a part of the things I love to do. I do hair. I'm into psychology. I'm into art. I'm into healing in terms of like emotional. Like I'm really into emotional space, emotional intelligence. I love asking the questions. I love being the being. I love learning. I love all that stuff is how I have integrated into this beautiful practice. And it so happens to be in the spiritual world, in the spiritual industry. All right. People who really practice that shit and live that shit day to day and are not on their bullshit, which is constantly sharing and constantly creating and for the digital world, not creating for self, and creating to promote. And never take a break, never rest. It's energy out here. Like, you think you can keep going and not stop? Like, anybody who keeps going and can't stop and won't stop and doesn't stop, they're lying about how they truly feel. Unless they're expressing that too. But, I mean, you need a break from a lot of things. So please don't tell me that you're keeping it very real about your energy while also lying to the people. You have to stop. You have to pull away. You have to integrate. You have to reassess. You have to rest. Then it goes into a matter of, am I as good as I think I am? And maybe I'm not. Maybe I have to learn some new skills on how to post online. But I'm also like very over online. And that's why I said my expansion needs to take place, because for all the other reasons of, like, you know, my business didn't generate as much income as I planned, needed, and I'm like, maybe I don't want to stress myself trying to, like, I don't know, become something that I'm not. And then learning, like, well, maybe it's time to become something that you are and expand in what you have going on. That's cool too. I like that too, because I'm like, well, maybe it needs to go bigger. But I'm like, now that it needs to go bigger and expand, now I'm understanding what expanding really means. Now we are in a space of embedding, positive embedments. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to say it positively. Being positive, charge, you know? So that's when I got into all this energy play. And this is what we're here for. New moon intentions in Cancer. My birthday just passed, so it's Cancer season. And it was a dark moon in Cancer, and now the moon is probably in Leo. It's going to probably be a new moon in Leo, Virgo. Y'all know, look, I'm not the one to play. Like, energy is real. The way I do this might be very different than what you're used to. But if you're here, you fucking understand. You know what's up. And that's why I love you, and that's why I appreciate you. All right, so I'm gonna do just a reading for me over this paper. I'm gonna try my very best not to say any names. Any sensitive names. Not to say any sensitive names. Because if this does end up online, it might, but this is very personal, and I feel like half of me is like, girl, whatever, right? We'll see what happens. Anyway, I just want to make sure I keep everything safe for everybody involved. I also don't feel as bad as I think I do. And I told myself I'd do that last month. I remember that. Like, just like letting things be as they are. Like, that shit is like, okay, you just literally just have to breathe through everything. And then after you start breathing through everything, you just start accepting. Don't respond right away. Don't ever respond right away. Or at least, don't ever respond right away. Like, you have to breathe. If you respond right away, that means that something was given to you and you just grabbed it and threw it back. You know how, like, that game that's maybe hot potato or dodgeball or some shit in school? Maybe like hot potato, where you throw it back, you have to like catch it, throw it back right away, catch it, throw it back right away. That's not how you play with energy. You gotta give it a minute. I want it to blow on me. My thumb is hurting. No spread. I'm gonna just start with 3. Maybe I'll do 6 because it looks like I can fit 6 cards on here. 10 of Pentacles. See, look, this is what I'm saying. Like, I said that earlier. I feel so rich and I feel so poor at the same fucking time. And it's because there's certain things you do not have. That you're like, oh my goodness. And I said, I wonder if rich people feel that way. Like, they have everything and they still... Knights and 7s and Pentacles and everything is here and everything you need is right here. But all right, I get that. I want to go beyond that. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. We doing reversals? The thing is that some cards are not abstract art. So like when it's reversed, I'm just trying to look at what the image is because I could tell what it is. Some decks, I mean. So I'm gonna do it upwards. I really don't care. You're gonna get both sides of the story anyway. 6 of Pentacles. What was I talking about before when it came out? I can't remember. Always gotta have something to say, right? All these positive presenting cards. Like, what the hell? I want this deck to tell me the worst story. Like, just be like, this is the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm looking for someone to say, this is the problem. Why am I looking for somebody to say that? This is the problem. Sovereign Soul Family. I love that name. For the people who join, energy-wise, connect, Sovereign Soul, you are free. That's what that means. That's what that means. Sovereign Soul. Because I feel like this card is so positive, it makes me feel like I'm tripping. Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck in reverse or upways. See, this is the mental bondage I'm talking about. Can you please be real? I know you're being real anyway, but I need you to be more real because there's something underneath all this and I need to understand what it is. The Six of Pentacles picture is looking like desperation. But not really, it's just like giving. Seven of Swords. Okay, the Seven of Swords tried to come out before, I think, because I remember saying 7, and that's what it was. I hope. Queen of Swords came out instead, in reverse. That's what I said. I'm thinking about my weekend. I watched the Minority Report. And the idea of the Akashic Records came out. It was a joke I said. That was the best joke I ever said in my life. I had said, I was talking to my friend. And I said, we both said something at the same time. And I'm like, what you said? He said, what you said? I said, what you said? And at the end, he's like, I said, whatever he said. I said, okay. I said, because you're talking about stuff in the Akashic Records. That was so funny. But I had to tell him what the Akashic Records were. And that's probably why it wasn't funny to him. But it was so funny to me. But yeah. Oh, I'm thinking about Minority Report. Tom Cruise said, where's my Minority Report? And the Agatha, the girl, said, you don't have one. And I'm trying to remember what the Minority Report was. I'm trying to remember the movie, but I missed like maybe 40 minutes at the top of it. So I don't know fully, but I'm thinking about, I'm gonna go backwards to my thoughts. I keep hearing the song, I got everything I want in my life except the girlfriend, do 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 do, B2K. I'm like, why the fuck do I keep thinking about that song? So random. And they just come up recently, but I haven't heard that song. It just came up. Spirit and connection. And so I said, he said that in the song, and then I said one of my favorite songs is Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. Sorry. Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. She talks about she has a dream, she got everything she wanted, not what it seems. And if I'm being honest, it's just another nightmare. Like, it's like you get everything you want and you're not satisfied. And this came up before. I'm at the salon, so I still do hair sometimes, and some days out the week. Some days out the week, I'm extracting myself from that too, which is interesting because I have a connection to it that it's kind of hard to let go. But I'm doing hair, and I'm like, I'm so sick of this. I want to get out of here. I know I'm not going to make the money that I dream of making here. I want to get out of here. I'm wasting all these hours here, right? These are things I think as I'm doing it here. This is at the time. And it was like, why don't you want to show, like I'm talking to God, why don't you want to show me my money? Why don't you want to show me my money? And then I started getting a lot of tips and big bill tips too. And I remember God saying, Like like literally, like this happened probably over a couple hours, but it happened quantum. Like this is why I keep saying quantum, because it happened like this. Like I'm talking about, what do you call it then? So something jumps from here to here, jump here to here, here to here, here to here. I feel like that's what quantum means in physics, but I don't know. I need to look it up again. But it happened like this, where started to receive all this abundance, and God literally said, you will not be satisfied. Are you satisfied? You're not satisfied. You're never satisfied. And I'm like, that's terrible to not be satisfied. And that's been one of my things too, of being satisfied. And I've been maintaining that. But I always have a breaking point. And the co-star said it the other day, everybody has their limits. And I'm like, exactly. God has limits. And so do I. And you know what, the limit is always, I always understood the limit to be with God is that he keeps giving you, I say he, but y'all know what I mean. Life is just abundant and you don't see it. That's what I mean. Life is abundant and you don't see it. I say that about my father a lot. I'm just be real. That yeah, he gets everything. He always gets everything he ever wants. And he always squanders it. That's not good. God is not going to keep giving it to you if you keep doing that. And he has gone to extremes, so you know, that's his cross to bear. But I understand that concept of you keep receiving and you keep receiving and you're not blessed, you're not feeling blessed, or you keep messing it up, or you keep failing to it, or you keep, you know, throwing it away or not appreciating it, just not appreciating it. God will stop. God has limits. Energy flow has limits. But we also learn too that abundance has no limits. Abundance has no limits. And maybe me thinking that abundance has limits, is a limitation upon itself. Thinking that God has limits. That's not the case. Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. See, now we're falling back in love with the truth. So the Queen of Swords came out and then the Four of Cups came out. And usually I like to go, instead of going like this, horizontal, I like to sometimes read vertical. So the first row is 10 of Pentacles. Remember the first card we pulled? And then the one underneath that is the Queen of Swords, the second row. And then the second card on that is the Four of Cups, and that falls underneath the Six of Pentacles. Oh wow, and the Sun. I gotta pee. Will you wait? I'm back. So, don't remember what I was talking about, but that's okay. It'll come back up. The sun came out. The sun came out. The sun came out underneath the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands was giving like a progression forward, like literally like a steady progression forward, because the night is the duty and the service of the night is duty and service. So he's surveying the castle, and he's, you know, walking around making sure everything's okay, and he's shifting, and he's graveyard shift energy, and he's moving about, and he's switching out shifts, and he's working these hours, and he's putting his energy in, making sure everything is well, and he's taken care of because he makes sure everything is well. You have to be accepting of that too. I just thought of something interesting. And then the sun came out right underneath, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I want this reading to have a tower. I want this reading, that's how I feel. I want this reading to be like, this is what the fucking problem is. This is your problem. You're fucking this, you're fucking that. And it's literally saying like, peace unto you, my queen. Peace unto you, God, goddess. Peace unto you. Offer yourself all the grace that you offer the world, because you do. Because you do. Offer yourself the same amount of grace that God offers you. Quantum that shit. You know what I mean now? See, now we can use quantum in the physics terms. I'm about to study that today. We're at 46 minutes, so I'm about to wrap it up. Because, girl, we did 6 cards. I'm going to shuffle these dice. Because it's like self-explanatory, like you know the truth, and you know how beautiful and abundant you are, and just stay in that realm. That's it. That's all you have to do. But it's like the darker side. It's like you handle a lot of shit in there. And I was saying this last night to Aquarius and what's this one? Virgo or Scorpio? I was saying this last night that what did I say? Something about knowing. Oh, like we at a point now where a lot of the people around us are needing us. So, and I don't mean people, I mean everything, which is why like everything everywhere. This is why you're called to sleep, which is why things need to be, the endings need to happen, which is why, you know, redirection needs to occur, because you're being called to other spaces. Okay? And now that you are in this higher self-awareness, higher vibration, higher understanding, understanding, overstanding, you're going to start to reap and receive what you're aligning with rapidly. But also, because what you're used to, and this is embedded conditioning even upon the spiritual journey, is that you're going to be looking for big moments that confirm you, that affirm you, that are like, here's your big moment, I want you to keep going. This is like when you're learning how to ride a bike without the fucking pedals or training wheels, and God is like your dad helping you ride your bike, and it's just like, you got it, stay steady, stay strong. We're not there no more. That's what it was in the beginning of time for us, when we were rebirthed and reborn. And even if you keep rebirthing and being reborn, it's happening so rapidly because we are in the space of 3D, 5D integration, 4D, non-perceivable time, where we can leap. It's happening fast, and you're looking for those moments, and we're at a point now where we're riding the bike so well, we can do fucking tricks and shit. We don't need nobody to pat us on the back and nobody to cheer us on. And when you don't have those moments of cheering on, you kind of feel like you lost track, or you kind of feel like you don't know what's going on, or you feel like there's nobody there to confirm your identity or existence. It's like, no, because you learn how to do it from within. So you don't need anybody. You don't need anybody. But you need everybody. But you don't need anybody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna shuffle these. 2. What is this one? It might be backwards. Scorpio or Virgo. I'm about to look it up right now because we got 2, and that's crazy. We got the South Node, and we got 1. Hold on. Astrology symbols. My boo says, you make Google rich. Everybody says that about me though. I'm always asking Google, but I like to talk about the shit I'm thinking about. And sometimes Google is the only thing that can talk back to me about it. That's the South Node. I'm gonna look that up though. Virgo, I knew it. And I want to be sure. I like to be fucking sure. You hear me? Symbol. Okay, it's the North Node. Get the fuck out of here. Virgo, North Node 1. Wow. And the North Node is a big fucking deal to me. Tap into your North Node. My South Node is in Cancer. And my North Node is in Capricorn. I suggest you find out what your North Node is. And whatever your North Node is the opposing sign is your South Node. So mine is Capricorn and Cancer. Like that. And I was thinking about this the other day because I said, I wonder if I'm living in my South Node in Cancer when I was like sleeping a lot and not waking up at 6 a.m. and, you know, feeling like down and not fully down, but just feeling like, damn, like, oh, and, you know, just, you know, being home a lot and being with my family a lot, like, even just my birthday celebration and stuff, I just around a lot of people that I love and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wonder if I'm really living in my South Node in Cancer right now, and if I need to consider, like, really amping up my North Node in Capricorn. And I was like, I said, because I was literally in between choosing which reality I wanted to continue in, and I said, if the South Node is in Cancer, and this is what you thought about, and you know your calling is in North Node energy, and it's in Capricorn, this is not going to be satisfying to you at the end of your life, what you're doing right now. I said that to myself. So I said, fine, help me figure out how to get back in my North Node in Capricorn, but this time it's like you get pulled back, you go further. You get pulled back again, you go further. You get pulled back again. Because we're trying to break fucking records here. Every single time, the distance should be shorter, longer, higher. Every single time it should be better. For every realm of reality, it should get better and better and better. So you're getting pulled back and you're about to be catapulted into some real shit. So this is the thing. Before the dawn is the dark, or whatever they say. In order for you to really, so this is, it's interesting. If you watch celebrity news, I watch celebrity news. This mainly black celebrity news. I don't really watch other people's celebrity news. But black celebrity news, it's been talking a lot about like, you know, like Beyonce came out with her song, and like Meg Thee Stallion becomes big and famous, and what else happened recently? I was like, they really trying to play. Something happened, like it's something where the celebrity does something really big, and immediately they're attacked with some like allegation, some lie, some person saying bad things about them, like literally right away. They do something really big and then they're attacked. Even Erica Mena. See the butterfly? People have their opinions about her, but she literally came out with her movie and everything, and then immediately all hell's break loose for her and her reality, and now she's all over the media. You know what I mean? Things like that, where it's gonna get really dark. You're gonna be extremely tested to your threshold. We talk about this all the time. To your threshold, because you're gonna come into some major gold, and you need to know what to do with it, and you need to know how to handle it. Okay, that makes sense. Virgo energy here too. Virgo is like double Virgo. Tap into your Virgo energy in your chart. My Virgo, the only thing that's Virgo in my chart is my I think my sixth house is in Virgo. My fifth house probably. 5th or 6th house. No, because my 7th house is Sagittarius, so my 6th house is Libra, Virgo. My 5th house is Leo, Virgo. So 5th and 6th house is my Virgo. And the 5th and 6th house is for, let me see if I can remember. This is where your change happens. This is the adventure. This is the, no, that's 5 energy. Let me see 5th house. I haven't memorized the houses. I feel like I need to, right? I wish I had like homework for this. Maybe I should create a curriculum and follow it. Just do like basic, you know, I'm gonna create a whole curriculum. Give myself a task. Get back in my fucking world, right? 5th house, romance, love, affairs, play, creativity, fertility, childlike spirit, joy, self-expression, and drama. This is the space that we need to focus on when we're feeling the way we're feeling right now. It's our 5th house and 6th house. Health, fitness, systems, analytical nature, pets. You know what's so crazy? The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th house has everything to do with how you are building your identity, with how you're connected to your family, with how you're connected to love, with your safety, security, your money. And then we go into the other higher number houses and they focus on your expression to the world. Right now in the charts, in the astrology charts, there are no planets in the 1st through 6th houses. I really don't think so. I pulled the chart the other day and I remember thinking to myself, this is a fucking energetically crazy time. But it's happening under the skin because it's happening externally in the outer houses, like the higher number houses, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our expression to the world and how the world plays with us is those houses. Hell yeah. How we give to the world what we've developed in the first few houses. And all the planets are up there, and a lot of the planets are not down here. Not, you know, I'm thinking about the pie chart. Look, you know what I'm talking about. Up, down. That's what I'm thinking about. That's not even real. It's just how I see it. But yeah, that's important right there, y'all. Just consider, or y'all, or me, or whoever. Still don't know if I want to share this, but we'll see. All right, I appreciate this time. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. If you are listening, thank you for sharing, Kayla. I appreciate you for opening your mouth and speaking out. It's been a minute since I was able to do a reading, and 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You see what I mean? Beautiful, good shit. It's been a minute, and I really missed this a lot, which is why I'm like, damn, just post it, because it's over an hour. It's about to be an hour. Just post it. Fuck it. You have something for your people. Because I miss y'all, and I wish I, you know, could give more. So I wonder, if you watch this all the way to the end, that means you really fuck with me. And if you really fuck with me, I genuinely want you to reach out to me and let me know what you'd like to hear, or comment, or whatever, what you want to hear more of from me. Because if you rocking with me this far, you rocking with me. So what do you want to hear more of? What do you want me to talk more of? What do you want me to share more of? I know I want to go back to painting, and that means that a lot of times I'm zoop. But it's a beautiful thing I did. So do you want me to go back to painting? You want me to zoop? You know I'm multifaceted. What do you want from me? How can I make your life better? You know what I mean? How can I make your life more enjoyable when you're with me? When you're perceiving me? When you're absorbing me? Like, what can I give you? You know? All right. Enjoy your Cancer season. Hopefully we'll talk really soon. Honestly, hopefully. Because I know what energy I'm speaking to when I'm speaking. I know who I am, so I know this is real. So enjoy, continue to be loved, continue to keep trying, like just keep fucking trying. Keep showing up, keep being, keep loving, keep forgiving, keep being honest, keep being truthful, keep being a mirror, keep accepting your mirror, keep praying, keep sleeping, keep eating, keep drinking water, keep thanking the earth. Find your way of giving back to the earth. Find it. I love you. I hope you love yourself. And I will see you on the other side.